I do have a soft spot in my heart for people who are out there. Maybe they've built up a nice rental portfolio. They're getting into their 50s like me. Their kids have no interest in taking over the business. And so now what are you going to do? You're going to 1031 exchange until you croak? I don't know that that's such a great strategy. I know a lot of people do that, and it certainly has benefits in certain situations. But what I like to see is people unload those properties and place their capital into a deal alongside me.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Tom Dunkel, brings nearly 30 years of experience across real estate finance and investing. He leads Eagle Capital Investments, which delivers exceptional opportunities for investor partners. You can find them at eaglecapitalinvestments.com. Tom, thanks for taking the time today.
Hey, Dylan, it's great to be with all the you and all the listeners today. I'm looking forward to our chat.
Now, when we talk specifically about kind of the intersection of real estate and of finance and investing at large, I think a lot of people tend to separate these into buckets based on how much risk you're willing to tolerate and also how hands-on you want to be. You've been involved in all three of these spaces. How did you get started in real estate?
Sure, Dylan. Yeah, I think there's kind of an evolution through the kind of the what I call sort of the entrepreneurial process. Because I think when I started out, when I got fired from my corporate finance job in 2006, and I had it with corporate America and decided to go into real estate. I was ready to rock and roll. I had a great education. I had a great background. I had great skills for putting deals together. I was doing mergers and acquisitions in the aerospace industry, so I knew how to put the capital stack together. The debt financing, the equity. I knew how to build the models and the projections to attract the capital. And so I figured, this is gonna be easy. So I went, hands on, doing wholesaling of residential properties, residential investment properties, of course, picking up some rentals, doing some fix and flips, and that sort of thing. And but as for me, as I got into it, I'm an educated, finance guy. I didn't want to be, swinging hammers and doing all that, which I never really did. But then, you start running into problems of, finding the right contractors and whatnot. So for me, I was like, okay, how can I do this better, smarter, faster, and frankly, more profitably? Because, when you go into a real estate deal and you're looking at doing a fix and flip, for example, you go in with a certain budget in mind, and there's always, delays or, overruns, or a contractor doesn't show up or whatever. So
Right.
that was when I found the distressed mortgage debt space. And so my partner, Joe Downs, and we've been able to build a really nice business in the distressed mortgage debt world. And what we did there is our initial goal was, hey, we want to make $1 million a year working 20 hours a week. And that thought process really forced us to, build a team and build systems, um, and find a niche where there was, some good profitability, so that we could grow from there. So that was kind of the next phase of the entrepreneurial journey. And now at this stage, Dylan, you know, uh, good 15 years later, I'm, very happy to say, I'm financially free. I've got a company that runs itself. I have people that run it.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I live up in Pennsylvania, but right now it's too cold up there for me. So my wife and I are down here in Hilton Head, South Carolina, getting ready to go out and play some golf later. And just wanted to spend a little time with you this morning, Dylan, and try to
Yeah,
share some knowledge with the audience out there.
I do want to touch on something you mentioned, which is distressed mortgage debt. Now, I would like to
Mhm,
dive in here, get a little bit granular. When we talk
mhm.
about distressed mortgage debt, does this coincide with people who are creating notes and buying notes, or is this a different space entirely?
It's a little different than what I think you're referring to. So we buy loans are directly from a big bank USA, let's call them.
Okay.
So these are loans that were bank originated. We actually specialize in second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, that sort of thing. And so these were loans that were originated by a bank, and the borrower, for whatever reason, they had a health issue or a family issue or a job issue, something happened and they stopped paying their mortgage. Banks, their ability to think outside of a box or, be entrepreneurial at all to solve a problem with their borrower is, it's about like this big, right? So they do a horrible job of dealing with their borrowers. They're just not designed for that. So they end up selling that loan out into the world because the regulators come along and say, "Hey, you've got too many bad loans on your books. You got to get rid of them." So they'll sell them to a company like ours, U.S. Mortgage Resolution, and then we have, because we're buying these loans at a deep discount, that gives us a lot of flexibility to work with the borrower. And so we basically ask them three questions. What happened? Where are you now? And what do you want to do? So we put it all on the borrower. Like, we're not trying to be some big bully, and we're not in the foreclosure business, and it's a lose-lose situation. So a lot of
Yeah.
times, like I said, they lost a job, they had a health issue, they got divorced, somebody died, somebody went to jail, something bad happened. But now they're back on their feet. Well, what do you want to, where are you now? Well, I'm over that issue. I'm back on my feet. Well, what do you want to do? I want to stay in my home. Okay, great. Let's talk about doing a loan modification. And then it's a win for the borrower, right? They get to stay in their home. It's a big win for us because now we have a very, very high yielding cash flow stream coming in. And it's a win for the bank because they get these bad loans off the books.
Now, in that space specifically, are the operators typically investors, or are they folks like yourself who have a mortgage background, finance background?
Dylan, it really spans the spectrum. We have a down, what we call a downline of buyers that will buy loans from us now, and some of them are just onesie twosie. They like to buy loans like in their state or in their area, and then we have other buyers who are more experienced, and they'll buy a big pool of loans, scattered around multiple states. And so kind of like regular, buying properties, right? Everyone has their own little specialty, their own little niche that they like, their own little neighborhood or state or type of deal they're looking for, and so it just really varies.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Now, when we talk specifically about first position, second position notes, right, or mortgages,
Mhm.
I'm imagining that you have people who feel comfortable buying that second position mortgage, but then you'll have others who won't, right? When if I
Mhm.
can, without giving away the whole gold bar here, Tom, but maybe one gold nugget. If folks are
Sure.
looking at, that second position, is there specific strategies which, second position mortgage buyers have, knowing that, hey, I may not be able to as easily recoup all of this?
Yeah, so I guess a lot of people don't know, and which frankly we love. We love that the second mortgage space is very nuanced and kind of scary and risky sounding because it keeps people out of our space, keeps the competition away, and keeps our profits high. But basically, if you're a second position lien holder, a lot of people have this misconception like you don't have any power, you can't foreclose or even threaten foreclosure, and that's just not the case. You are in second position, so if you do take back the property, you do have to pay off the first. So you can't leapfrog the first, but you do have a lot of control. And again, we're not in the foreclosure business. We're trying to get a loan modification in place, or sell the loan, or come to maybe some kind of discounted payoff with the borrower. Um, and the borrower, in our experience, having done this now over 15 years, even like, investors like us, right, Dylan, and the listeners out there, it's like if you look at a property, it's worth 200,000 and there's $150,000 first mortgage and a $75,000 second mortgage, we're going to say, oh, that property's underwater. But what people don't realize is the owner of that house, that's where they live, right?
Yeah.
That's where, their kids go to school down this block. They go to church around the corner. They have block parties with the neighbors. They've got the badminton set up in the backyard. This is where they live. And so we find that they have what we call emotional equity. So even if it doesn't pencil out like an investor would look at it, they will still work with us to get a loan modification done or some kind of discounted payoff, because that's what works for them. That's what they want to do, and they have that emotional attachment to their family, to the neighborhood, to the house. That's where they're raising their family. So we do
Yeah.
everything we can to help them out there.
That's a great point that not enough people mention, which is that, if someone is dealing with a situation where they may be falling behind, if this is their forever home, if they're attached to it, they're going to fight, real hard to stay there. And I think oftentimes the solution that investors have, wholesalers, flippers and so forth, is here's a cash
Mhm.
offer, you'll have to move, but here's some money to assist with that. Versus, a more nuanced approach, which might have, you know, maybe a more long term, it might require some further nurturing, right? And maybe,
Mhm.
somewhat more intensive, but you're able to keep that person in the home and still benefit, from the interest as an investor.
That's right, and so we've been able to build up a nice cash flowing portfolio in our company, and then we have discounted payoffs that come in each month, and we have full payoffs that come in sometimes, which is awesome. But over the years, Dylan, the success of our distressed mortgage debt business has allowed us to do other things, get involved in other asset classes. So we have a self storage portfolio now. We have a short term rental portfolio, And now that I've stepped away from kind of the day to day of the business, I'm looking at investing as a limited partner myself, being a passive investor. And so that's what I try to help people do through Eagle Capital Investments is get people from the active world into the passive world.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I think there's a lot of people all across the country, definitely in the Sun Belt states, right, who are looking
Mhm,
at some of those other asset classes that you mentioned as well. Self
mhm,
storage seems to be huge, almost to the point where it's like,
mhm,
everyone wants to be in self storage. I've also seen RV parks, mobile home and manufactured as well. When
mhm.
folks are looking at getting into some of these other asset classes, do you think it's
Yeah.
it's best to partner with someone who's got that level of experience, or if you're coming from the single family space, can you jump right into owning a self storage facility?
Yeah, it's a great question, Dylan. It's funny, the entrepreneurs out there, myself included, a lot of times we just want to go and do it ourselves and, smash through walls and, and skin our knees and get the black eye and, doing, what plenty of other people have already done and learned how to do better than you could ever do. So I know some people just need to go through that experience themselves before they realize, you know what? I should be asking myself, who should I be partnering with on something like this? Not how do I go and do this myself. There's a great book out there, by the way, called Who Not How, which I've really embraced that kind of attitude. Like, when I'm looking to solve a business problem or learn something about like mobile home parks, for example, I think that's an interesting area of investment right now, especially as our country continues to have an affordability
That's right.
crisis in housing. I think mobile home parks fit that bill tremendously. So I have a lot of friends that are in that space, and so I just like to learn from them. And then when they have a deal, I already have that relationship with them, that know like and trust kind of thing. I've learned how that space works from them, and so if they present a deal to me that I think pencils out and makes sense for me as an investor, I'll go for it.
We are coming up on time here, though, Tom. Any new
Mhm.
projects that you're working on, and then as well, what's the best way for folks to reach out to your team?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so this has been great, Dylan. Thanks. So yeah, I am looking for deals for myself as a limited partner, and I'm looking in the mobile home park space. I already have a lot of self storage, I still really enjoy that space. And as you touched on earlier, it's become very popular, so you got to be a little extra careful there that the operator is in a particular area where it's not overbuilt and there's not enough demand to keep the units full. Uh, that's a problem that you can easily run into if you're not careful. I tell you, these days I'm big on capital preservation. I'm big on cash flow. So I really love private lending right now. So I have some fix and flip guys that I've done business with for many years. Again, I know, like, and trust them, and so I place capital with them. Those are typically short term, 12-month notes at a high interest rate. And I just like getting that check every month. And I'm in first position. So even if something goes wrong with the project, I'm well covered and I can definitely get my capital back. But with all that in mind, Dylan, when I do go and find these deals and I'm putting my years and years of experience to work for myself and I'm going to my network that's developed over years and years. I'm now through my company Eagle Capital Investments. I'm inviting investors to join me and partner with me to participate in these deals. Take advantage of my background, my due diligence system, my network, and my ability to go and find good investment opportunities. So they can keep doing whatever they're doing. And I do have a soft spot in my heart for people who are out there. Maybe they've built up a nice rental portfolio. They're getting into their 50s like me. Their kids have no interest in taking over the business. And so now what are you going to do? You're going to 1031 exchange until you croak? I don't know that that's such a great strategy. I know a lot of people do that, and it certainly has benefits in certain situations. But what I like to see is people unload those properties and place their capital into a deal alongside me. I put money into every one of my deals. My investor network never sees a deal unless I'm putting my money into it myself. And then, are they going to pay taxes? Yeah, they're going to pay a little bit of taxes. But you know what? I look at that as a freedom tax, because now you're becoming free of your active headache and you're transitioning into this passive world where, maybe you want to escape the winter and come down to South Carolina and play a little golf. I don't know. If you do, you look me up. But that's the essence of Eagle Capital Investments. And I encourage people to go to investwitheagle.com to pick up a free copy of my book and learn more about me and what I do.
Tom, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.